You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Christian ain't good with forgiving, ain't turning my cheek, now I'm raising that pistol. Lord, forgive me. With all my prayers, with all my strength, with all my pain, I'm fighting this war. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. No turning back, 'cause I'm free.
Hey, spread the word to my people, yeah. Spirit fell on me, told me fight against the evil, not turn. Not turning, yeah. Fuck the sticks now, nigga, y'all burners. Hold up, hey, spread the word to my people, yeah. Spirit fell on me, told me fight against the evil, not turn. Not turner. We in the sticks, now we all got burners. Hold up. Hearing voices in my head say I need to be.
Welcome to Dirty Laundry, y'all, with KO. Here we pull no punches and jump head first into the challenging conversations that our community needs to have. From economics, inner city violence, abortion, religion, religious fanaticism, and of course, white folks and everything in between. We tackle the issues, the tough issues that shape the Black experience. Now, with honesty, with courage, and with the vision for growth. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of our conversations do get messy, but hey, that's why we do laundry. We wash, we rinse, and we rebuild, because it's our duty to reclaim and control the narratives that are associated with us as Black people. So welcome to Dirty Laundry, y'all. Let's start the pre-wash with Kwame Speaks.
What's up, brother? How are you, man?
What it do? What's up with you?
I'm good. I'm just getting over this little bug I had, man, for the past couple of days. But man. God is faithful. God is good.
Man, take care of yourself, man. It's important.
You gotta take them vitamins. Though? I'm feeling much better. Thank you for asking, brother. I appreciate you.
It's good to hear.
All right, let's get into this pre-wash. I got a couple of things to talk about. First up, we want to send some prayers over to the family and friends and fans of the one and only Tay Keith. He passed away on today. The 29-year-old was found unalived in his Martin Street apartment, according to the MNPD. No foul play is suspected, the police stated, noting that his body was discovered during a routine welfare check. The Memphis native rose to prominence in 2018, crafting chart-topping hits, including Block Boys, JB's Look Alive featuring Drake, Drake's Nonstop, Travis Scott's Sicko Mode, Eminem's Not Alike, and Lil Baby and Gunna's Never Recover, and Beyonce's Before I Let Go. So as of now, the cause of Chambers' unaliving remains undetermined, but let's keep everybody in prayer as the investigation continues. So I just wanted to start that off with that.
Rest in prayer, say Keith, man.
Yes. And the next up we have Jay-Z. Now, there's some controversy going on with Jay-Z because he's partnering up with Target amid active Black consumer boycott to celebrate his Reasonable Doubt 30th anniversary. Now, despite an active Black consumer boycott against Target, Jay-Z has opted to partnership with the megastore to celebrate the 30th anniversary of his hit album Reasonable Doubt. As part of the partnership labeled Jay-Z 30, the rapper Born Sean Carter will exclusively release special vinyls, CDs, and cassettes for his June 1996 album in Target stores and online on Friday, June 26. On a webpage dedicated to Target and Jay-Z's collaboration, the retailer promotes 4 different products marking 30 years of Reasonable Doubt, currently for pre-order, which reportedly opened on June 1st. Two-pack special edition vinyls, both sets priced at $40, which I will not be buying, and a CD priced at $14 and a cassette tape priced at $20. None of those I will be buying and purchasing either. For the first main Target exclusive vinyl, the retailer, I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't understand what your problem is, Jay-Z. I didn't understand, and I'm pissed off about it because I am a Beehive fan.
Tell us how you really feel.
I don't understand what you're doing, why you decided to do this, what your reasoning was behind this, but it was dumb and I don't appreciate it. When we were all trying to boycott the NFL after the whole Colin Kaepernick situation, you went ahead and bought a damn team. And now you're doing this. It's giving side eye. It's giving I don't trust it. And I don't like what you're going with this, Jay-Z. It's giving you need to remember where the hell you came from. And the Knicks just won. So I don't understand why we got to bring this dark light towards our city. Wake up and smell the culotta. Anyway, moving on.
Go ahead, cook, man.
Next up, and last but not least, we have y'all's Vice President JD Vance, who happened to be on The View this week, which I was also surprised about, but also not surprised. But JD Vance went on The View and tried to convince us that Black history isn't being erased. Take a look.
In a lot of the museums there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened, all kinds of stuff happened, and it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that and also to denigrate Black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you, you know better.
I think, okay, look at Washington, D.C. One of the most democratic and one of the blackest, by share of population, blackest cities in the United States of America, has seen a radical decrease in violent crimes and sexual assaults and in murders. We have tried to take the crime issue seriously, in part because we believe everybody, whether you're Black or white or rich or poor, deserves to live in a safe neighborhood.
Why does the crime? Where does the crime step in? This is not about crime. This is about
lost their jobs. Right.
This is about
Sonny,
rights.
What you're saying is we got to do more on the economy.
Black history has been erased from public
Black
spaces.
history is not erased from public spaces.
We do have to get to it, Ron.
Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you, Ailana Vance. Let me explain something to you, girl. One of the things that I have a problem with you on is, first of all, we can go into deep diving later on as to why you're on this damn apology tour, because I see what you're doing and you're prepping for the damn presidency. But guess what? It ain't gonna work because we don't trust you or your damn boss. Okay, you're a flip flopper. You flip flopped when before when you said that your boss was a damn America's Hitler. Now all of a sudden you're couch humping him. But that's a whole nother conversation because you like couches any damn way allegedly. But that's a whole sidebar. I don't understand why you're acting like you don't know what we're talking about. We're not dumb. We see what you're doing, and if you don't understand what we're talking about, you know exactly what Whoopi was talking about. You know exactly what Sonny was talking about. You guys are erasing Black history from different spaces and from different public places and federal institutions. Don't act like you're not doing it, because that's exactly what's going on in Project 25. And it's a matter of fact, if I should have pulled the damn clip on it, but I'll do it on Pirate Power Hour at a later time. You were one of the ones that was sitting there saying that you were being an apologist when it came to white colonization and talking about, everybody's trying to make white people feel bad. Girl, we weren't the ones that pulled us from our damn home country and our motherland.
I'm saying, like, you know what? Hey, somebody came in hot today. And I think
I'm feeling a little bit better.
That's
all I got.
Hey, that is a great pre-wash because it gets us right into the spin cycle. The colonizer. It's right in front of you. The colonizer, you guys. It's right in front of you. You know, I find it interesting. Now, here's the thing. I want to give my disclaimer, right? Check this out. This is not racial rhetoric. We are just comparing culture. In these series that I'm doing on Dirty Laundry, I am exposing the culture, the cultural environment that we live in. So, the colonizer, it's right in front of you. Roll that clip, please.
So show me the smart child. Okay, why is she the smart child?
Because she looks like me.
Okay. Show me the mean child. Okay, why is she the mean child?
Because she's way darker.
Okay. Show me the good child. Why is she the good child?
Because I think she looks like me.
Okay. Show me the bad child. Why is she the bad child?
Because she's a lot darker.
Show me the ugly child. Why is she the ugly child?
Because she's like a lot darker.
What do you think? Shocking to you?
I just think it's because she's not exposed. I mean,
You're almost near tears. Why? It's not meant to upset you. What's upsetting you?
it's not really upsetting. I mean, everything she said, she chose someone like her because she's smart, and she is.
All the good attributes. She's
Yeah.
got a healthy ego. That looks like
And
me.
as
That
far-
kid's like me.
And as far as the one she chose for, being ugly or mean, I mean, you can't even see any facial features in that one. But she has never asked about any, color. As far as, when she plays with friends, and when we were talking about, we were actually going to soccer where there's all different kinds of people there, and that's when she says, I chose the dark one as the one that was mean. I think that was an eye-opener for me because we've never really talked about race. So we talked a long time about it.
Do you see what's going on in this video? I thought this was very, very, very odd, but I also thought that was very, very telling. That's why I labeled it the colonizer. It's right in front of you. The things that she was talking about is that we've never really talked about race, even though this country is synonymous with having racial issues. They live in a world where nothing affects. I've never heard of that. I've never seen that, but yet your daughter thought that the black child was ugly, was dangerous, was all of that. So now, before everybody starts clutching their pearls and saying, here we go again, another attack on white people, let's be clear about what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about history. We're talking about culture. We're talking about systems of power. And we're talking about the uncomfortable truths that many people would rather ignore like this lady in this video. So I know some people are saying, why are you making everything about race? Let me be clear about something. Race is a new phenomenon, right? We didn't do anything based on race. Race is applicable to classism. For example, my skin is not black. My wristband is black, but my skin is brown. White people aren't technically white. Well, depending on if they haven't been in the sun or not, we could have a good argument there. But white people aren't typically white. Those are rudiments of classism, which is the child of racism. But check this out. I know, everybody's like, why are you making this all about race? We're all one species. And to a degree, I agree. We're all human beings. But if we're going to have an honest conversation, we can't pretend history does not exist. We can't act like race, as we understand it today, wasn't socially constructed and used as a tool to justify conquest, colonization, slavery, segregation, and exploitation. I mean, which emotion are you going to pick, lady? One thing I intend to unpack today is the difference between race and culture. That's what I'm going to do. Race and culture. That's what this is about today. The difference between race and culture. Because what you'll do is you'll get caught up in race. But what we really need to be talking about is culture. Because while race is relatively a recent social invention, culture has histories. Culture has footprints. Culture shapes institutions. This is the dangerous child. And if we're going to understand where we are today, then we have to examine how certain systems of dominance have become normalized across the globe. So, run the next clip.
Show me which color looks like your skin color. Eye?
Yes.
Show me the skin color you want as your own.
I like the way I am.
And show me the skin color you believe most teachers think looks bad on a girl.
I don't think they think it matters.
They don't think it matters?
Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, it just matters what you look like on the inside.
What do you think?
She's my child. And I think, her sentiments are kind of what we try to instill in both of them. It's unfortunate you cannot just not accept that race is a factor in all of our lives, but, you try to raise your kids as best as you can to overcome those obstacles and do the best they can as individuals, and then hopefully, they will be successful in whatever it is that they choose to do. But, again, you cannot get away from the fact that race is a factor. But, hopefully what we instill in them at home will help them to, put that in its right place and move on.
Did you notice the difference? Did anybody notice the difference? Tell me if you saw the difference, right? One parent is saying, we don't have to talk about that, but somebody else specifically teaches their children to have a lens that looks at character and not be biased. It's a reality that we live, right? So the colonizer, it's white in front of you. We're going to unpack this when we get back from commercial break. Talk to y'all in a minute.
This is Tammy from Tammy's Take, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
The news is divided. Ground News puts it back together, with coverage from thousands of outlets around the world in one place. So you can spot sensational reporting, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. Beside every headline, you'll see who owns the source, how reliable it is, and if they have a political bias. Multiple perspectives side by side, giving you a well-rounded view of today's biggest stories. Visit ground.news to learn more.
Hey, it's Dr. Nicole D. Vick from Dr. Victorious, and you're watching Power Media Network.
Black mama still crying on TV. These young brothers still dying on TV. Crackers on the camera still lying on TV. 3% rappers might put it on the CD. And our leaders, most of them speechless. How you gonna preach when you ain't trying to reach it?
Hi everyone, I'm Shiloh Hendricks. I wanted to take a little time to talk to you all about what's been going on with my fundraiser and kind of the aftermath of the park situation. Also some concerns that have been brought to my attention. There are a lot of people who think that this has all been a scam, that I haven't been getting my money and that it's not going to me. I have gotten every dime of my money. It's all gone to me. Nobody has asked me for any money. So there's that. Rest assured, all the money has gone to me. When this first started, I had a handful of people helping me out. Anglo-Saxon Girl, Tom Hennessy, Paul Miller, and Ofsterbone, Avi. And they really just were kind of guiding me through this time and promoting my fundraiser and getting the word out there about everything that was going on. So I am forever grateful for all of them for that. And then the Avi thing happened where he got fired from his job and uploaded a video and started his own fundraiser. That had nothing to do with myself and the rest of the people that were involved. As soon as we found out the truth about all of that, I severed ties with him immediately. I am not married to him. I don't know him. I've never met any of these people. So I just want to shut that down right now. Yeah. When I first found out that the park video was going viral, it was terrifying, but not surprising, because obviously he was recording me. It was going to get out there at some point. I did not realize I was going to have so much support and have all of you people rally around me and have my back in this situation. And it was very overwhelming. And I am so grateful for you all for that. When this first happened and I went on X and I saw Anglo-Saxon Girl had posted my video, I messaged her and I was like, hey, that's me. Just kind of needing somebody like-minded to talk to. And of course, she didn't know it was me. So we went through the whole process of, proving who I was. And that's when we kind of got the whole fundraiser started and set up. And yeah, the rest of that is history. I also just want to say how proud I am of everybody and just showing what can happen if we tribe up and if we stick together and if we keep fighting back. Our future, our existence depends on standing up for ourselves and not backing down. And we just have to keep on going. There's no other option. I mean, what else are we going to do? You can't be afraid of words. Don't be afraid of the people who are so fragile to a word. I am just so thankful for you all. We are in the process of looking for a home. We have looked at some, getting out of the state and starting a new life. And I want to have a quiet life. I don't plan on, being an influencer. I don't plan on doing interviews. Like, that's just not something that I would ever want to do. It's not on my agenda. So maybe someday but I don't foresee it happening anytime soon. We're all doing okay. We've been moving around a lot. It's been an adventure. It's fun to see new places and, you know, been kind of an outlaw. Again, I just want to say that I am so grateful for all of my supporters and all of my people who have been with me through all of this. And yeah, I haven't said anything on here. I haven't done any sort of videos or spoke to anybody really. So I felt like it was about time to clear the air and just kind of, you know, keep you updated with what's going on.
Do y'all see that? Okay, just for those of you who don't know, that's Shiloh Hendricks, the lady who called. Well, we thought it was a child. We think it's a child, whether it was a child or not. She called somebody a nigger in the park, and she was thanking her people for doing the GoFundMe and taking care of her. And she said, "We got a tribe up," which starts the spin cycle. This is our topic, the colonizer. It's right in front of you. Black people are constantly subjected to moral defamation in public square. We see it every day. We watch people rush to conclusions about who is a criminal, who is dangerous, who deserves sympathy, and who doesn't. We see assumptions made before facts are fully understood. So today, I want to show the culture of what we consider white people. Now, once again, this is my disclaimer. I don't think that all white people are bad, but I think white culture has perpetuated something really, really diabolical to the world, and I intend to prove it. Right? All right. So take recent cases that dominated headlines. While I absolutely empathize with the loss of any child, I also believe context matters. If we're discussing violence, shouldn't we also discuss the events that led up to it? Should we always talk about that? Intimidation. You remember in the first one, the little white girl was like, black child bad, right? If we're discussing a tragedy, shouldn't we examine the entire situation instead of reducing it to simple good versus evil narrative? Assault is assault, right? So my question is this: should I expect to suspend empathy for my own community in order to prove empathy for someone else's? Or can I acknowledge the pain of others while also understanding the lived experiences, the fears, and the realities that shapes the perspective of my own people? Like she just did in the video that we just saw with Shiloh Hendricks. Oh my God, I'm calling babies niggers in the park. So let's address it. So my first example today will be ancient Rome. Expansion through the military conquest, ancient Rome, territorial control, and assimilation. Figures such as Julius Caesar and Augustus are also very useful starting points for talking about this. Ancient Rome. We live in a Roman Jesuit priesthood right now. Colonizer, Rome, taking over stuff. Colonizer, Africa. Colonizer, redlining, United States. You kind of get that? Like military industrial complex. We go to war. We blow up, not we, they blow up stuff. Rome, the Senate, the Republic, Democrat, Republican. You get where this is going? The Crusades. I mean, let's talk about this for a second. When have any Afro-Asiatic culture went across the globe and subjected people to war and demise in the interest of their God? Think about the Crusades for a second. The Crusades illustrate how religion, politics, and warfare become intertwined in medieval Europe. Notice that Shiloh Hendricks said Anglo-Saxon. So what's their culture? What has been the culture of Europeans? European colonial expansion, beginning in the 15th century, with countries such as Portugal and Spain, and later joined by England and France and the Netherlands. Y'all kind of see a pattern that's going on here. So while people say, okay, this is racial, this is totally racial, it's not racial, it's cultural. And this is what we as a people need to start to understand. And this is the example that I use all the time. A lion is a feline. A tiger is also a feline, but they don't live in the same habitat. They don't stay in the same ecosystem. You get where this is going? I know everybody has this dream, this American dream. And like, J.D. Vance, they say, we not erasing African-American history. Well, I got a stance. I think that Black Americans, our history is American history, but we get subjugated to a very small month, the shortest month that we have. And then that gets complained about. I mean, like, think about what I'm saying. The culture of people. Like when Joe Biden got in office, he passed an Asian hate crime bill to keep these people from being targeted. I mean, can we ever forget the Holocaust? Do we? Do we get to forget the Holocaust? We ask for reparations. People say, I didn't own a slave. My people never owned a slave. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? The culture of our counterparts. Now, anybody that want to do right, they can do right. But let's talk about your culture for a second. Let's talk about the scramble for Africa. Ooh, colonization. The division of Africa among Europeans and the European power structure during the late 19th century. The Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference is a key event. Are y'all seeing where this is going? For those of you listening to the show, write it down. Go look and see what I'm talking about. When you look at the culture of Europeans, they have a Nordic culture that says that they only take, they only rape, they only pillage, they only murder, and then they tell you that you should be civilized. And then they do stuff like, I don't know where she got that from. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But if I don't see white people standing up and talking about their own culture, I'm led to believe that you're complicit. Let's keep going. World wars and European nationalism. Aren't we talking about that right now? Hey, listen, when they go storm the White House, it's called an insurrection. When we storm the White House, it's going to be called a riot. You get where this is going? You remember what the little white girl said? She said, black bad, dark skin bad. The little black girl said, I'm judging everybody by their character. And the daddy came out and said, well, this is what I teach at home. But the white parent was like, I never talked to her about it. You don't have to. Your culture don't want to. Your culture doesn't dictate that you have to. Both World War I and World War II emerged largely from rivals among European powers. Okay, all right. So look, they like to talk about black on black crime. 13% of the population is doing most of the war. But when white men when they have their altercations, like the Germanic wars and the Roman wars, they call that war. They don't call that white on white crime. Think about what I'm saying to you. Everything that they do that's barbaric has a justification. Once again, for those of you who are of an ethnic proclivity that's not mine, this is not racial rhetoric. You got to get out of it. This is culturally conscious talk. And based upon European culture, I'm seeing a pattern. I think that you guys should notice the pattern too. Run the next clip, please.
Right here, brother. Right here. Tell me what you were doing. Burning out, racing through my neighborhood. burning that racist in my
told you not to.
Get out my face.
I'm not in your face. Get out of my neighborhood.
Who got a gun? Who got the gun?
The guy who's got a permit to carry it.
You got a gun?
You're the one that would get a gun.
All right. All right.
Get out of this neighborhood.
All right.
Get out of this neighborhood. You don't belong here.
But y'all want to smash the window? Smash the window? Yeah, he did, didn't he? You smashed the window, huh?
Well, y'all driving like idiots.
Are we seeing a pattern? I'm trying to get you to understand something. Get out of this neighborhood. Get away from here. This is our stuff. How many of y'all know that Christopher Columbus didn't discover the Americas? There was already somebody here. How many of y'all know that when they go in and to colonize Africa, there was somebody already there? I mean, I hope you know that, right? I do hope that you know that, right? All right, so listen, if you're from St. Louis, Clayton used to be a black neighborhood. Rosewood, Wilmington, North Carolina, Tulsa, gerrymandering, redistricting, redlining, gentrification. I mean, feeding your kids the gator bait. Are you seeing a pattern here? You know what? Let's go to commercial. Go ahead. We'll talk about this. We're going to go to commercial.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, bring it up, up. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back, bring it up, up.
What's going on, y'all? It's Kwame Speaks from Kwame Speaks Live, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Black mama still crying on TV. These young brothers still dying on TV. Crackers on the camera still lying on TV. 3% rappers might put it on the CD. And our leaders, most of them speechless. How you gonna preach when you ain't trying to?
All right, y'all. I just feel like at this point in time, we gotta check the facts. We have to check the facts because I know a lot of times people be like, Kevin, KO, why are you doing what you're doing? And I told you that the reason why we do this show is to raise the consciousness and change the narratives for Black people. Now, am I saying that all white people is bad? If you can be called white, you do know white is an adjective that describes the noun. Black is also an adjective that describes the noun. But if we're being real about our experience as Black people, here's a couple of things. We've been begging for rights and haven't been getting them. We have been marching for years with no results, right? And I think that it's important for us, if we are going to live in America, we do need to be realistic about the facts, right? We need to be realistic about what we live in. So people are like, oh my God, we're all human. We're all God's children. But if I ask a white person if they want to trade being a white person for being a Black person, in this system, they're not going to want to do it. They're not going to want to do it. So let's check the facts. The rise of the transatlantic slave trade. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, an estimate of 12 to 12.8 million Africans were transported across the Atlantic through the transatlantic slave trade, with millions more affected by raids, wars, and displacement within Africa. Now, some people will say, okay, it wasn't 12.8 million. It wasn't that many African slaves came over. They could have died on the boat. You couldn't even get that many people through. The point of it is the culture and the custom of the people that we are talking about, not the numbers. We can argue about the numbers. I can show you a whole bunch of things. And people will say, okay, well, slavery been going on since the beginning of time. Yes, indentured servitude and harsh slavery has been going on since the beginning of time. But check this out. Chattel slavery hasn't. Get that through your head. Understand the difference. Slavery has been going on since the beginning of time. But chattel slavery was a whole new animal. Just think about that. And somebody perpetuated that and has been perpetuating it for a very long time, and it's still going on today. I'm just trying to get you to think. European powers, including Portugal, Spain, England, France, the Netherlands, built immense wealth through enslaved labor. Chattel slavery is different than colonization. You want me to tell you why? Because in colonization, they take your land. When you're a chattel slave, they reduce you to the value of maybe a cow, a goat, a chicken. And we all see what they do with chickens, goats, and cows. Race and its justification for slavery. While slavery existed throughout history, the Atlantic slave system increasingly tied slavery to race. That's why the little girl said when she saw the black child, she thought it was bad. Because slavery, degradation, and the way they see you is tied to your color. Classism, which is the child of racism. Let's be clear about this. Laws were created that defined Africans and their descendants as permanently enslavable, creating a racial hierarchy that outlived slavery itself. The doll test. You got black kids looking at black dolls and saying that the black doll is bad and the white doll is good. That's the residual effects of slavery. Colonialism in Africa. The Berlin Conference divided much of Africa among European powers without African participation. Look who's in the Congo right now. They working on chips, NVIDIA. They working on chips and stuff like that. They go in, they look at the culture. Some people be like, oh, that's China. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. They're all Confederate. In the League of Nations, they are considered white. White is not applicable to culture. White is a rudiment of classism. Colonial borders often ignored ethnicity. They often ignored cultural things and political realities, contributing to conflicts and instability that persisted after independence. Destruction of Black prosperity. In the United States, Black communities that accumulated wealth often faced violent resistance. They bombed Tulsa. Okay, the National Guard and Sinclair bombed Tulsa. They dropped the bomb on their own people. Well, people that they didn't consider people, because they said nigger time got to go 2 months before that. And how many of you knew that the girl that they said was saying that she got raped was the girlfriend of the guy who ran out of the elevator? And they went and moved to Kansas City and eventually landed in Chicago and had kids. But see, you didn't know that. Okay? Check this out. Examples. The examples that I'm using is Tulsa, the Tulsa Race Massacre. East St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis right now. East St. Louis had a massacre in the 1900s. Not 400 years ago, like people try to say. Oh, that was such a long time ago. Tulsa was in the 1920s. My grandmama was alive. Okay? Some of your grandparents was alive during the East St. Louis massacre. Okay? And Rosewood. You saw the movie with Bing Rames. They made a one-legged man dig his own grave, killed him, and put him in it. Are you seeing where I'm going with this culture thing? See, people will be like, oh my God, that's racial. But Black people can't be racist. Ist, the suffix ist, means that you specialize in something. And I'm going to ask you, when any Afro-Asiatic person went across the globe and specialized in building systems that oppressed people based on race. Race ist. Phlebotom ist. Machinist, dentist, all those people specialize in something. When have Black people ever specialized in that? You can be racially prejudiced, or you can be culturally conscious. Culturally conscious meaning that you want to be a part of this experience so bad, but you need to create your own experience because it shows psychologically, physically, in your world that you're not in the same ecosystem as them. This has nothing to do with righteous acts. Of course, people can do right by you. Of course, people can be nice. Oh, we're exchanging niceties all the time. But your culture dictates that I can't flourish in your environment. And that's provable through the histories. Segregation in the Jim Crow, which is prison is the new Jim Crow. So check this out. Following the end of slavery, which Abraham Lincoln didn't really want to get rid of the slaves. He really just didn't want to do that. I'm going to need y'all to look that up. Southern states enacted Jim Crow laws that restricted voting. It restricted education. It restricted housing, employment, public accommodations, especially for Black Americans. You see where I'm going with this culture shit? This is some culture shit. Like we look at white people like, oh, they're not, all white people aren't that bad. I agree. But I don't know, because their culture dictates that they are something opposite of us. We go through these trying times and we still have empathy. They go through these trying times and say, fuck niggas. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Now, I know that my expletive can be offensive, but listen to what I'm saying to you. Desegregation was less than 100 years ago. Somebody's culture said, y'all can't participate with us, and y'all still want to pop fireworks on the 4th of July. It's time for us to wake up. Legal segregation lasted well into the 20th century. It ended formally through legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which, oh, by the way, that's almost getting, they're gonna take us back. That's gonna get. So now the people that really don't like you can come out and be like, stay your ass over there. And I'm saying, when we get over here, we need to recognize what we've been through, empathize with each other, and come on back home. But you got to understand something. It's some shit that ain't going to be able to come on this side. And y'all going to have to be willing to ostracize those things. We don't need no more bootlickers. We don't need no more dancers. We don't need no more steppers. And we don't need no more coons. We need knowledgeable people about the experience. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 pretty much was just thrown in the trash. Are you understanding culture now? Are you understanding it? You know what I say at the end of the thing? Take your life off spin cycle. Now it's time for the spin cycle. The rent cycle, y'all. This is where we rent it out.
First of all, I cannot be a racist because racism is a group system. There's no such thing as individual racists separate from the system of racism. That's like being on the Cleveland Browns, and I'm a Brown, but I can't exist separate from the Cleveland Browns organization. So there's no such thing as an individual racist. You're only racist by direct relationship to a racist system. So there's no such thing as individual racist. I can be prejudiced. I can dislike white people because they're white, which I don't. I can hate white people because they're white, which I don't. I can be prejudiced. Racism is prejudice plus power. You got to have the power to implement your prejudice to disadvantage people's lives. I don't control nobody's mortgage. I don't control the education of nobody's children. I don't control the police department in nobody's neighborhood. I don't control the criminal justice system in nobody's county. So there's no way that I can be racist. Now, racism, so that African people understand the difference between racism and bigotry, because I don't believe every Caucasian is a bigot. I do know every Caucasian is a racist. What is the difference? A bigot is someone who has an emotional connection to the degradation of African people. In other words, I hate you because I think black people are inferior. I hate you because I think black people are monkeys. I hate you because I don't think black people can do anything right. That's bigotry. I have a hatred for you. Most white people may not have a hatred for black people, but they're all racist. Racism is about three things, and racism is only about three things: complete control and domination of resources, opportunities, and privileges. Let me say it one more time. Racism has nothing to do with how white people feel about you personally. That's bigotry. Racism is, I hate you. Excuse me. Bigotry is, I hate you. Racism is, I want white people in Ohio to be in absolute control, domination, and monopolization of all the resources, all the opportunities, and all the privileges. And because black people don't understand racism, that's why it's such a potent weapon against us. Because we will think if a white woman lays down with me and give me a baby, she's not racist. If I sleep with them, if I smoke weed with them, if I live with them, if I hang out with them, if I pledge a fraternity or sorority with them, that means they're not racist. That has nothing to do with racism. A white woman can have your baby and still discriminate against your black ass. Racism ain't got nothing to do with sex, religion, or none of that. It's about military and political control. And until black people understand racism, we'll never get out of it.
Rinse this shit out. Let's do it. When people start talking about black folks and morality, civility, and respectability, I can't help but ask a simple question: who's doing the teaching? How do I learn civility from a system that was uncivilized toward my people for centuries? We're talking about a people who were bought and sold as property, human beings reduced to inventory, families separated, women violated, men brutalized, children treated as commodities. We're talking about a nation that legally recognized slavery, tolerated segregation, and watched lynchings happen in broad daylight and made postcards out of the shit. And yet somehow black people are constantly being asked to prove our morality. Now, let's be clear. I'm not arguing that every white person is immoral. I'm not arguing that every individual is responsible for the crimes of history. What I'm asking is whether institutions and cultures that benefited from conquest, colonization, slavery, and racial hierarchy should approach these conversations with a little more humility. Because when I hear moral defamation directed at a black person, I can't help but remember who wrote many of the rules, who control many of the institutions, and who benefit from many of the injustices. If race is a social construct, which it is, then perhaps we should spend less time talking about race and more time talking about behavior, power, culture, and history. Because history leaves fingerprints. And before you lecture somebody about morality, you should probably examine your own record first. Why do European powers become the dominant colonizing force of the modern era? And how did that shape black experience worldwide? I'm just going to hit y'all with this before we leave up out of here so you can understand what I'm talking about. So since they like to criminalize our children, and since the society likes to criminalize our children, and this is not to good white people who be like, I'm not a racist, I'm not this, I'm not that. Here it is. Ted Bundy confessed to 30 murders, primarily of young women. Jeffrey Dahmer murdered 17 men and boys known for cannibalism and necrophilia. John Wayne Gacy convicted of murdering 33 young boys. David Berkowitz terrorized New York City from 1976 to 1977. Dennis Rodder murdered 10 people over 3 decades. Eileen Wuornos convicted of killing 7 men in Florida. Gary Ridgway confessed to 48 murders and believed he was responsible for more of them. Jack the Ripper. Can we go on? Zodiac Killer, Timothy McVeigh. I mean, school shootings. I'm saying, like, when you start talking about black people, I think you need to look at your own culture. And that's the only thing I'm talking about. And black people, we need to start waking up to who we really are. Because y'all need to come on back home. The objective is to get home from war. Now we're going to put it on the clothesline. Today's book of the week is The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois. Today's book of the week, y'all, a book that I think that y'all really should take the time to go get. And it's a wonderful and powerful read, is The Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B. Du Bois. I call him Du Bois. I know some people call him Du Bois, but I call him Du Bois because that's French. Okay? Du Bois. Du Bois. Any of y'all want to call them Du Bois, that's cool. But The Souls of Black Folk. Excellent read, y'all. And once again, like, follow, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Check in. And please, please, don't forget, take your life off spin cycle. Good night.
What up, everybody? This your boy KO. If you want to follow my content and see more of the interviews, you can follow me at IAMAKING Studios on Instagram or the same thing on YouTube. Hey, you never know where I'm going to pull up next. Get at your boy. I might speak.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.